Can't see my cursor.
Welcome, Angry Faithful, to the Friday What the Hell episode on the Angry Me Productions website. For everybody viewing us for the first time, thank you for showing up. Yeah, we're going to go over some topics over here. We're going to go over the Smalley Pirate Daycare Center, since we haven't touched that since we've been on hiatus for a while. We only did that special episode this last Sunday. But we're going to go over the Smalley Pirate Daycare, the Iran rebellion, the reverse food pyramid. Bill is in the outfit in Greenland, apparently, with the American flag. And we're going to go more on the Minnesota shooting. Now, saying that, Bill,
I have to break in with something really quick. This is kind of neat. It fits with Greenland, but I have a 10 by 10 little home office. And my little 10 by 10 home office is right now 78.6 degrees. So the outfit is cute. I would love to wear it through the whole program to like be in character, even though I'm not one of the Greenlander natives. But I have to step off and wipe off the sweat and remove this.
Hold on real quick, Bill. Okay. Here's the thing I wanted to test on this, okay? Zip it up.
Oh, man. Really?
Yes. Zip it up. This is I've seen this video of a woman who showed how to use an actual parka. And I want to test this theory because I don't have a parka.
Well,
okay.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure out how to zip
it. Okay, Bill. But I want you to do the fur part.
Yeah.
You're supposed to put that on the once you have everything like zipped up and everything, you fold the fur part inside. And it creates better. And
that looks like a wig.
Well, it's supposed to create a bit better barrier so you're warm.
Oh, now when I wore one, I worked on the flight line, and Dad had one that he got when he was stationed in Maine, and it was the actual military, full coat.
Yeah.
And he let me borrow it working on a flight line, towing planes in the ice. And when I zipped it up, it looked like Kenny from South Park.
Yeah.
So that's how that one looked. This one is actually my wife's. So it zips backwards and snaps backwards than a guy.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Take it off.
Yeah.
I just wanted to check that out.
Oh, he said.
Yeah, Bill. Oh, yeah. Hello, Jackson. Is it Jackson or is it Jason? Oh, we got Peoples.
Oh, okay. A lot cooler.
We got Peoples. They're conversating with us. Wow.
Holy crap.
I don't know what to do with ourselves now. And we got viewers.
Welcome people. Howdy from
Texas.
Heading to Greenland, though.
Now, first thing on the Smalley Pirate Daycares. And I call it that because, well, they're pirates. Can't help it. New news just came out with that. The Minnesota administration there, they've been doctoring paperwork so they wouldn't get in too much trouble. And mind you, and this is just doing a little bit of research. They've been having this kind of problem since 2015. And Tim Walsh even said in an interview saying, hey, guess what? We got fraud and we're trying to take care of it. But now, since it's national news and everybody's talking about it, they're going up and going, oh, yeah, it's not real. And what's really funny is even the Somali ambassador to the UN, Akbar Dari Olsman, was a healthcare administrator in Ohio. Another healthcare company operates in the same suite under a different name, and there are multiple others at the same address, all Somali names. And he's it's just widely hilarious. We went from 10 to 1. Anyways, it's kind of hilarious that all this was done because of Nick Shirley, who uncovered it. And I listened to him on the Sean Ryan show. The whole reason why he was there was because a lot of Muslim communities there were buying up churches, and they were changing them into mosques. And he was there just to report on that. And then people started going in, and it was like, oh, you know what? A really, really messed up thing that's happening is the daycare fraud. What? So that's when he started going over the daycare fraud. And as of right now, we've had a couple of funny moments that's been happening. The first one on this was them trying to say that they're not, doing fraud by saying they're doing fraud. Let's go here. She literally, fraud is bad. And just because you think, oh, hey, how's it going, Peter? And just in case you didn't think that it was, just her.
There is fraud. There is for these programs that are years long. There is fraud. There is.
But there's no fraud, is there? Is there, Bill?
No. He's totally innocent. They're all innocent.
No, we're not giving away free stuff. We don't give away free stuff. It's not that kind of show.
Well, I wonder if there's going to be another fraudster here, like the guy who owned the former Hampton Inn.
We'll get to that in a little bit, Bill. That's
I think he's going to fraud. Open a
Bill. We'll get to that in a little bit. I know what you're talking about. We'll get to that in a little bit. But they went on Craigslist just to show that they don't have fraud. And they went on Craigslist asking for a 3-day contract for child actors. And they were going to pay them $1,500 a day. So 3 days. So roughly 4,500. Yeah. they were paying them for. They were going to pay them for $4,500 for 3 days work, and they needed 20 child actors to do this. As of right now, the contracts are null and void because they took down the Craigslist thing. But yeah, it's just getting to the point to where they even had like one of the guys go on and say, "Oh, we got robbed," and the only thing they robbed us of was the documents that proves that we run a legitimate daycare. Well, why would they only steal that? But another thing that was happening, and this is back in 2016, 2017, where they were catching people that are going to Somalia with suitcases full of cash. And they had videos of mothers that were working at the daycares getting like envelopes of cash. So yeah, it was just really ridiculous on that. So far, also because of this report, and people are upset about it. I don't know why. Nick got Tim Walz to say, "I'm not doing it anymore." He quit the governorship. Like that's going to save his ass. It's not. So, but what this spark actually happened was it was a spark to show that the fraud that was in the government, and now they're looking into California and other states for the same type of fraud. So hopefully we get more information on the other states that it's happening in, and we can get, I want my money back because taxpayers were paying for that. Bill, do you have anything to go on this?
No, actually not. I was focused on, unfortunately, something else this week, and I'm kind of working on a little technical issue.
Okay. All right. The next thing that we're going to go over is the Iran rebellion. I don't know. It's more or less a civil war, but it could be a rebellion. But what's happening as of right now, they made it to Tehran. And the Shah, or not the Shah, the Ayatollah, the main one, he's shipped to Moscow as of right now. They are changing street names as they go along to say in Farsi, Trump, and they're changing the streets to Trump Street. They also destroyed all internet connection. And the other way we're getting these any kind of videos or photos right now on X and other websites is through Starlink. So we're able to see this. They tried to control these people as best as they possibly could, but as of right now, there's no control.
Isn't it fascinating that people in Iran and Venezuela, they know the value of freedom better than the liberals in America?
Oh, absolutely. It's really strange. And it gets me a little bit hopeful for the world. Now, coming off on that, we learned a lot of stuff. One thing that we've learned so far is with the Venezuela stuff, all the oil that we had seized. You don't want to say captured, you want to say seized. But all the oil that we had, no, seized. Because they did it through sanctions that we put up, and it's justifiable. But seized oil, we are basically paying for it at market value. So it's not, we're not getting it cheap or anything. We're getting it, we're getting the oil market value, and we're giving it, and they're going to use that money to make Venezuela a little bit more stable. Basically, Trump has already said that they're going to set up a account for that money and distribute it to Venezuela for the, I think it was like 50 million barrels of oil.
But where is that oil going?
We're
Now, Trump has said that he would sell it to China, sell it market rate. He said he would do that. And then he said we would buy it and put it into our system. But a couple of hours ago, Kevin O'Leary came out and said what he thought they would do with that. Put it in our strategic oil reserve. And I didn't know they could do that because right now our strategic oil reserve isn't set up for heavy crude. But he mentioned that there is some location within our strategic oil reserve where it can store heavy crude. So we would not just take it. We would pay the market value for it, put it in the storage, and then the money would help the Venezuelan people. And that's why Trump is saying we need to take over, because if they did it, the money would go right back into their terrorist network.
well,
So he wants to make sure it helps the people.
well, the whole reason why he's doing it to China, because they have a loans for oil. They were giving, China was giving loans out to Venezuela, and they would get oil and they would sell the oil. But because of that, what's happening right now is all those loans that China had, and they're pissed off that they're not able to get the oil because, oh, it's ours because XYZ. Yeah, that contract was with the Venezuelan dictator that we ended up saying, hey, you want to have a sleepover? And he said yes. That's, mind you, it was forcibly, but anyways.
It was a fascinating press conference today with the oil executives. And
I didn't get to see that.
Yeah, it was about an hour and a half, close to, it was over an hour. And what was fascinating, well, he starts off by going, hey, wait a minute. Evidently, they finished the door that's going to go to the ballroom. So he goes, wait a minute. And he gets up and he turns to the door and he goes, oh, okay. And he showed off the door going into nothing, going into the outside. So he had to do that before he goes, okay, let's start this. But what was useful about it? Okay, he did have the media asked their normal questions, and some of them were quite intelligent. One of them went into in such a way, he goes, you must have went to the Wharton School of Business for that, because it was a very intelligent question. But then he said, okay, guys, we've got the biggest, richest oil executives in the world here in this room. Ask them questions. So he started to try to get them to ask questions, and then he went ahead and had them introduce themselves and tell a little bit about what they're doing. $100 billion in investment. Yeah, don't know how quick it's going to flow, but
from what I understand, what Kyle said, it's probably about 5 to 10 years, which that sounds understandable.
Well, it depends on how they do it. One of them was talking about, if you totally wipe out and restart, but a couple of them are saying just upgrade the systems right now, the current systems. So right now they can do, I think, 8 or 900,000 barrels a day already. So it's not zero, but they want to get it back up to 3.5 million a day.
Yeah.
And as fast as Trump fast tracks everything, these 3-5 year out, I don't know about that. He may be able to boost it faster than that. One of the things he's trying to do is replace the Russian oil on the market so that people aren't buying it from Russia. They can get that same heavy crude from Venezuela instead, the ones that still really need it and are feeding the Russian military.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to rush it because if you from the people that I've talked to that go on oil rigs and everything, they're like, you don't want to rush this. Rushing it causes problems. It's a safety issue. It's also a deadly thing. You could have rigs just blow up.
Right. Rushing it isn't being careless. Rushing it is you're able to put enough money into it where you can get the machinery that you need quickly. Trump is working with supply chains to move product. So part of it is sourcing the materials, and that's where a lot of the focus of this administration is. That's why they're speeding up shipbuilding. A lot of things is because he's sourcing the materials.
Okay.
And you get enough people out there, it's not just a rush job. Look what he came out and did. The defense industry stock plunged a little bit this week. Did you see why?
No.
Well, Trump hates cost overruns. He hates things not being on time. And the Democrats have built contracts over the last, decades that really almost incentivize companies to drag their feet a little bit, have cost overruns and delays, and they get extra money for it. And he said, "No, I'm tired of that. I don't want cost overruns, and I don't want the delays. You need to be on time." And until you are, I'm capping. I think it was 5 million. I'm capping all defense industry CEOs, unless they can meet our timeline and stay under budget, capping your salaries at 5 million.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the defense industry stocks just on that one.
How is that legal though? Forcing people to, I can understand the.
Well, now how is he forcing them? He's like, okay, you do it or you're not getting the military contract. Next contractor.
Okay. Because the way you said it is the CEOs of those companies had to take like a pay cut because of him, or because he told them they have to.
Yeah, and you think it would make the news, but because the liberals should just be overjoyed with this, but
they're war hungry now, Bill. So I don't think
they support terrorists, but they always have. I mean, they support Hamas. They support the Palestinian terror.
They haven't always. I mean, Hamas is actually pretty new. So
I just really wish he would come out and talk about how wonderful breathing is.
Oh, that would be funny. That is very.
Everyone, hold your breath in protest.
Yeah.
Of the evil orange man bad.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Next on the list. Let's see here. Where's my notes? Next on the list is the food pyramid. Bill, you brought this one up, and we've talked about it on before the show. And yeah, RFK came out and said, "Hey, this is what the new pyramid is. And we got a video of. You said this was like 2009.
It's 6 or 9. The original video came out, but then they altered it. I think it was, when he calls RFK, I think he called Cartman or something.
Yeah.
In the original one. But this is on RFK Jr. This is on his official X feed.
The pyramid doesn't work. We've already tried it.
It's upside down.
What?
Sir, the pyramid is upside down.
Turn the pyramid upside down. You can't be serious. That would put butter and fat at the top of the damn food pyramid! Get the president on the phone. Tell him to have some steak with his butter.
That is so sad that they went back and said trans fat is good for you now.
Well, and then there was the JD Vance added to that, and he put this out, and he said, "Hey, Secretary Kennedy, this new food pyramid is solid, but you forgot to include one dietary staple, and it was Grater's cookies and cream ice cream." So RFK responded with, "Caution, do not take dietary advice from this guy."
he's JD Vance has like totally embraced that little meme right there.
Yeah, it's hilarious. The liberals just can't. They just don't get it. They just have no humor.
Oh, okay. We'll go ahead and close that out. Close that out. Close it out. Close it out. Close it out. Okay. Close that out. But we'll come back to that. Right there. Now, next one that we're going to talk about is I don't see the word all too well. Greenland. Oh, Greenland. Okay, my dyslexia hit up. Bill's topic of the week, and it's probably going to take the rest of the show. Greenland. Apparently, Trump goes out and says we need Greenland, and people's come up with like a plan. And I know Bill's going to talk for the rest of the episode about Greenland, but I found a great way on X of how we can get Greenland pretty easy, and that's by Baron Trump should marry Princess Isabella of Denmark, so Greenland would be given to the U.S. as a dowry. I mean, it'd work, right, Bill?
Yeah, pretty hot.
That'll work. But anyways, talk about Greenland. Why do we need Greenland, Bill?
Well, I came up with something, and it really is just now starting to get out there. I thought after the Venezuelan operation, what was one of the big things that we proved? We proved that China's defense grid sucks. So I thought, you've got all kinds of rare earth, and everyone's going, "Oh, he's going there for the rare earth." Well, yeah, the rare earth is there. It's some of the top highest deposits of rare earth minerals in the world. It ranks, I think, 3rd in rare earth and 5th in uranium in the world deposits. So, and then I thought, I think it's beyond that. And I thought that the Golden Dome. Do you remember the Golden Dome, David?
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, that has to be set up. Where would that be set up?
That would be a good spot.
Yeah, because what are we defending? We're defending from Russia, which their shortest route to America is over the Arctic.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can go set it up. Let's make an agreement with Greenland. No, we can't make an agreement. People have already said that there's an agreement we have with them, and we can put however many bases we want. And no, there was an amendment to that, and we can't. We have one base. Now, other people are also saying the Chinese, they got no interest in Greenland. Yeah, they do. They've already tried to set up mining operations in there, and it was only stopped by the environmentalists in Greenland. And Greenland is being sued by the company that is a joint venture with China and Australia. They're being sued for $11 billion because they pulled the rug out from under them when they had already done the planning and was ready to start the mining to set it up. Now, Greenland only exists because they get $600 million a year from Denmark. But the other thing about Greenland is its security. Now, this route here, it's the Northwest Passage. You can see where it's going around Greenland, between Canada and Greenland. That just recently opened up because of Arctic ice melt. And a couple of years ago, the first thing that went through that was a Russian and sorry, it's hot in here. The Russian and Chinese ships they sent through there. So that's kind of one of the ridiculous arguments you keep hearing. And let me pull something else up. This gap, let me add this in here. And I didn't know this until today. I'd been studying the Greenland, but you see this gap here? 95% of all of the world's internet cables go through that gap.
Really?
Yeah. And what Russia has is, and I'll get into this a little bit more in a minute, nuclear-powered icebreakers. They can sit out there for over a year, and they can take care of those lines in an instant if they wanted to. But here's the deal: Trump needs Greenland. Why? Why can't we just have an agreement between us and Greenland to add some more bases or put some more equipment out there? What would be a problem with that? Europeans and their regulations. So he goes out there, and if he says, okay, let's make an agreement, and we want to put this equipment out, you would have, okay, Greenland, let's get together and do a study on it. Let's get permits. And then Denmark would get involved. Let's certify it, and then NATO could get involved. And then after all that, Greenland could go, okay, let's do an environmental study before you put anything down. So what? 10 years to nothing? What did Putin just launch at Ukraine today or yesterday? Hypersonic missile.
Which I don't. It was a hypersonic missile. I don't think they actually have the capability. But go ahead.
It was a hypersonic missile they launched. They have them. What was it? Mach 15 that it went? So you've got us trying to defend against America and getting mired down in regulations and bureaucratic bullshit, trying to put a defense network up while Russia is perfecting their hypersonic weapons. The shortest distance, we have to defend the Arctic. So he has to have Greenland, either as a territory, or they're talking about paying the people from Greenland. I don't know. The $100,000 Kevin O'Leary came out and said, "No, make it $1 million. Give each citizen of Greenland $1 million." But you've got all the people in Denmark, NATO, all the Europeans are going just absolutely nuts, saying we have to defend Greenland from the United States. And the Canadians are going, we have to defend Greenland. Kind of on a side note, they've added that the U.S. is going to pull out of NATO. Where'd they get that? Has Trump ever really said himself that I want to pull out of NATO?
No, what that is right there is a lot of our, I guess, some of the money that's going to the UN for like climate change, all that bullshit.
No, that's not what happened. Someone in the Canadian media got a hold of Thomas Massey's get out of NATO bill that he put out December 6th or 9th. He put out a bill on it. The Canadian media blasted it as, look, they want to get out of NATO. All of the Canadian podcasters picked it up and they said, look, Trump is going to get out of NATO. And they said, they were saying, oh, is he going to get enough signatures on it so he can sign it? It's that idiot Massey put that sucker out there last month. But they've picked it up, blasted it in their media as this was Trump's, and he's pushing to do this. No. Even if it did pass, he wouldn't sign it just because it has Massey's name on it.
Mm. By the way, if we gave $1 million to each person in Greenland, because there's only like 55 to 57,000 people in Greenland, it would cost us 55 to 57 billion dollars, and I think that would be actually good enough to like own Greenland.
Yeah, we could do that. Well, the whole media and the whole world and the NATO leaders and all that are going, oh, but I show you a couple of minute interview. And this is with an actual one of the former leaders in Greenland being interviewed. Now, I couldn't find the original news clip, but this is a person that I watch frequently called Jasmine Lane.
Mm-hmm.
And she played the interview. So I'm going to play hers playing the interview. So give her credit. Jasmine Lane, excellent Canadian podcaster.
Saying the president on Air Force One that they're going to have more to say about Greenland in like 20 days and that they would like your territory. So you see no sort of menace in that whatsoever from the president of the United States.
No.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but you have to, again, remember, what you're talking about is two different things. It's not the territory that is important. It's the people. Mm-hmm. A territory is never granted any powers by international law. It's the people. So again, I'll repeat it once more. Why doesn't everybody just back up for the Greenlandic people to have a dialogue with the U.S. mm-hmm. without the press present? Excuse me for saying it that bluntly, but because the press doesn't seem to help at this point. You only seem to make it worse by creating a conflict where there is none, because everybody is speculating. Right now, what I heard from you before was that, well, Stephen Miller says something. Well, Donald Trump, who is the president of the United States, has already said that it's up to the Greenlandic people to decide what we want to do. And what we actually need to do right now is have a dialogue between Greenland and the US without Denmark or anybody else present to figure out what is it they want to do. We're not even there yet because everybody is talking about annexation and NATO is falling apart and all that, instead of actually saying, well, let the Greenlanders decide what they want to do, and then we'll take it from there. If we come running out from that meeting screaming help, that's a completely different matter. But we're not even there yet.
I
We
hear.
have seen our government for a year now try the Danish tactic of writing Facebook posts and saying, don't call us this and don't say that. That just doesn't work. That's not a mature way to run a country. So what we're proposing is what we've done since 2019 and saying, well, let's have an adult conversation with the US and say, what is it that makes them nervous? And what can we do to alleviate those concerns? Because you have to remember, the Danish prime minister back in 2018 told the US that Greenland was for sale and that Denmark intervened in the airport projects to keep China out. That's the narrative that the Danes used. So right now, of course, everybody in the US thinks we are for sale and that China is knocking on our door and that we might be willing to sell our country to the Chinese. Well, no, that's not the case, but that's a narrative that Danes themselves has created.
Right.
So we need to have an adult conversation.
Bill, you don't know what you're doing. What are you
Oops.
doing? There we go. Jeez.
Do you really have to be on the left all the time?
Yes. It's called the alpha spot.
Oh, man. Anyway, so basically it's, no, shut up, world. We'll talk to them. So it's not going to be as big a deal. But, okay, what's Trump going to do? Is he going to come out and, okay, they're making the deal. What happens if it doesn't go? What is he going to do? Is he going to come back and kind of minimize it and come back with a lesser offer? Or is he going to double down with something else?
He might actually.
I think you'll hear more about here NATO. Let's put it out in the open on what I'm wanting to do this for, and that's where you're going to hear the Golden Dome come up. Now, what's funny is I've been making posts about that around Facebook and X about the Golden Dome, and I think this is what's really happening. So I asked Grok. I said, "Hey, Grok, do you see anyone else really making that connection of the Golden Dome?" And he says, "Well, it looks like it's gaining some traction over the last 48 hours." And he said, "For example, this person on X said this," and I went, "That's me. That's the X account that you're under right now." So he's scouring the net for examples that people are talking about this, and he pulls out my post out of the world. So, but we think he'll make that connection. That's what I think, is he'll make that connection and use that as saying, "Hey, we're going to help you with this," because it won't necessarily. It's the North Atlantic, but it won't actually go too far into NATO countries. But we would be working with them on the technology for it. So they would be gaining some knowledge, and then eventually they could use this same system over there as a defense for Russia. So it would expand to NATO nations. So it's to their benefit to let us do something with Greenland that won't involve getting mired down in the politics of approvals and environmental garbage, crap like that. So what else kind of leads to it? And I don't think his first salvo will be the Golden Dome. But what else has he done that pertains to the Arctic as far as security?
I don't know.
Well, we have 3 icebreakers. That's all we have.
Oh, the Russian ones?
No, we own 3.
No. You're talking about the Russians ones that you showed me.
The Russians have over 40.
Jesus.
We have 3. Russia has over 40. Russia has 8 of them that are nuclear powered. I didn't even know till today that nuclear powered icebreakers existed. So how long has Trump been working on this? He works on, they say, oh, why isn't he doing this? Why is he doing this? Because he's doing 1,000 things at the same time. In the One Big Beautiful Bill, he set up funds specifically earmarked for icebreakers. So he had made a deal between Canada and Finland, and the deal is $6.1 billion funded with a Big Beautiful Bill between us, Canada, and Finland. And the goal is eventually a fleet of around 40 icebreakers. We have to have that. Now, you'd say, well, what are we going to do with icebreakers? Greenland. That's why we need icebreakers. So he isn't buying and building icebreakers just for nothing. It's all pieced together of build the icebreakers. I need Greenland because that's where they're going to be focused. And Brett Baer had a really, really fascinating special that ran at least 2 days this week on our shipbuilding industry. And I put out something, I think we talked about it, about Davies Shipbuilding, a company in Canada, buying a shipbuilding factory and production, whatever, in Texas. They're going to start building the icebreakers there. We're partnering with Finland for us to exchange knowledge, for us to learn from them because they're the shipbuilders. So they're going to build some. Most of them will be built in America, though, after they've trained our people on shipbuilding.
Okay.
So it's not just the Golden Fleet is not just where you hear it focused on battleships and this and that. I don't even know if I didn't see all of the Brett Baer program. I don't even know if he got into the icebreaker aspect. But this was one of those things where Canada is trying to, elbows up, and we're against America, and they gave Davies $3.5 billion to build one icebreaker for Canada. Then they took $1 billion of it and bought a shipyard in Texas to build them here to avoid the tariffs. Now, this was before the pact, and funny, the name of the pact to build the icebreakers, the Ice Pact. No, nothing to do with the immigration stuff here, but they actually called it the Ice Pact, Icebreaker Collaboration Effort Pact.
Oh man. Now, last bit of we're gonna make this really fast because I gotta go to bed. If we get any more news on it, we'll let you guys know. But we're talking about the Minnesota shooting. We'll just go ahead and Bill show that video. While you
they all the liberal media does is goes everyone on the internet goes, I've seen the video. Okay, there's like 7 different views.
Yeah, they keep on coming out with more video to
but the liberal media, what are they doing? I think they're probably just showing that one view over and over that looks like she was turning away. The one view. So when everyone says, I have seen the video, say, have you seen all of the videos or just the video that the liberal media keeps blasting?
Well, okay.
So
Okay, on the video, the one that everybody wants to post up and everything, I can even like you can tell the moment she decides to run, which that's what she was doing. She was running. You can hear like the engine revving up a little bit more or backing up. And as soon as one of the other either police officers or ICE agent screamed out, "Hey, get out of the vehicle!" She was getting out of the way. She was already supposed to get, detained. And then she decided to. There's many facets on this, and I watched a lot of the videos. Go ahead and pull this up, and I'll explain what I was.
they're irresponsibly trying to make this a George Floyd moment.
Yeah,
But I think this is going to kill it. Is that at first they said they didn't have their body? They said they didn't have their body cams on. That's the first thing that they said.
Kill it. What's gonna kill it is the weather. Honestly,
No.
but go ahead, Bill. Show it. By the way, this isn't body cam footage. This is the footage on his phone.
That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Okay. Pause that. Now, I've already gotten comments of everything. Okay. I've gotten comments about the videos that we did on Wednesday. Everybody's, justice for Renee. Oh, this was a travesty. A mother died. Here's the facts. Okay. If you looked out, he didn't have a body cam footage on. What that was, the same footage that I seen earlier today. What that was, and someone said it was like, why was he holding the camera? And then he pulled his gun out and holding the camera with one hand. Okay, this is exactly the reason why he didn't have a body camera. He was not a police officer. He was ICE. ICE are not mandated to have body cams on them.
Oh, good correction.
You could see it in the reflection in the vehicle. Now, saying that he was going around the vehicle, why was he going around the vehicle with his phone? I will tell you why he was doing it. He was documenting the person because he was not law enforcement. He was border patrol. Two different factors. So, and now you can probably say, oh, why was he having a gun on him? Because, idiot, illegal aliens have fucking guns too. How do they get guns? Easy. They steal them, buy them from black markets, whoever. That's how it happens. That's the reason why law abiding carrying guns. Boom. Good idea. Unless they're cray-cray. Now, saying that, what had happened, he was going around the vehicle, documenting the vehicle, making sure there's no like damages or anything that it would probably happen because, again, he didn't have a body cam. Now, saying that, the moment the woman decided to reverse and get out of the way when she was technically getting a little bit blocky in there, she backed up and revved. The reason why she did that, it wasn't because, oh, I just realized that I don't need to be here anymore. No, they were going to stop ICE as much as they can. But as soon as another officer an illegitimate cop came in, did his sirens, said, "Get the fuck out of the vehicle." She got scared. She just realized. She just realized. I'm sorry, people. She just realized that, hey, I'm about to get arrested for obstructing justice. And I'm going to be detained. And at that point, she realized, oh my God, I got to get the fuck out of here. Wifey, get in. Goes off. At that point, the cop was in front, the ICE agent was in the front of the vehicle. Boom. He sees that a motor vehicle that was coming at him. Panic struck. He was about to die. And this is literally his second time because he has stitches from a prior incident that he was it's like 50 feet, 50 yards. He was like pulled on another incident. That guy just has bad luck. I'm just going to say that. Anyways, after that, and then people are saying, oh, he doesn't have the right to do that because our feelings. Here's your fucking feelings, people. This bill was signed into law by Governor Tim Walz, a member of the DFL party, on July 23rd, 2020, following a special legislative session. Ministerial Statute 609.066. If a driver accelerates towards an officer standing in front of a vehicle, this creates an immediate life-threatening danger. The officer does not need to wait until impact. They can act based on the apparent incident and proximity. Basically, this whole thing right here that I just explained to you, and mind you, I said it really horribly, that states that he was in the right. Now, you fucktards that think that you know everything, and there's a couple of people that actually do know things. That is the law, and he justifiably did that. Now, that's just going on the law. Me personally, after doing a little bit more research on this incident, because, there's always, we find out more stuff as the week goes on about certain instances, like the Somali pirate daycare and the Iran and the Venezuela stuff. And this stuff. I mean, we reported it on Wednesday and we found out more stuff. And especially, here is the thing. And this is our last and final note on this. Here's the thing about that woman. Everybody's praising. Just like George Floyd, she was a piece of shit. People ask, hey, where are her kids? What were her kids doing? Where were they at? Guess what? She doesn't have her kids because they're taken away from her because she and her fucking idiot wife decided to basically beat the shit out of her kids, snuff out fucking cigarettes, and this is in reports publicly you can find because it's public record. Lit cigarettes out on their arms because she's a fucking cunt. Yeah, I said that. Are we going to monetize for it? I don't care. But that's what she is. She's a piece of fucking work. I'm literally done with all this rhetoric that she give her justice. She got justice. She's in the fucking grave.
There is one main reason the Democrat leadership is pushing this shit.
Because he's gay.
They just passed they passed, I won't get into the technicalities of it, something that would put the Democrats 3-year extension in place on Obamacare.
Really? They passed it, or they just put it in the legislation?
They passed it. All the conservatives are pissed, saying, look at the turncoats. But I brought up that last month, there were 2 of that group of Republicans who voted for it said, look, we're voting for it, but we're not voting for its contents necessarily. They have to get it procedurally through a procedural vote. Then they can debate the contents.
Oh,
But people don't realize that. They're looking at that saying these turncoats need to be voted out because they voted for this, because Democrats are now going to push it through. And I remembered, and I actually put into Grog, hey, Grog, I remembered last month hearing a couple of Republicans vote for this bill who said they weren't really voting for it to vote for it. And I gave him a bunch of rambling stuff, and he came back with it. Oh, you're talking about this guy and this guy. And yeah, here's what they said. And it's strictly procedural to start debate. If they actually passed it with a 3-year extension, we're screwed, because the only reason Schumer went from a 1 to a 3 and not a 2 is so they could shut it down for the presidential election. But so now you got that there that might not be able to be used for what Jeffries said that a few weeks ago, that basically he inferred that he was going to use it for, don't do anything, shut it down the end of January. We're not going to work with Republicans. Well, now they've passed that gets it in front of the people that Republicans are working with them. So they can't really easily use that and say, we're shutting down the government because of it. So this latest incident.
Yeah.
So they lost that. They want to shut it down over defunding ICE. The only way they can win is shutting it down and saying, fuck you to the American people. And this is their latest attempt. Hopefully that, what I thought was body cam, but wasn't, video sheds more light on it, because it seems to be possibly shutting people up. Not the little people, not the little lemmings who are out going, yeah, protest, kill ICE. But the leadership, I don't know that you'll see them pushing it as much. The comedians and all of that.
You mean like
so
Jim putting a freaking T-shirt out? Trump's trying to kill you.
Yeah, that.
Like that.
Yeah, like that. So hopefully this kind of gets rid of that. If it does, this article that said House Dems plan on shutting down the government over it. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So if we get some half-ass deal, okay, I know we don't want to extend the healthcare shit because it's shit. And one of the things I'm tired of hearing is, well, what's your plans? What's Republicans' plans? Well, what are Democrats' plans? Extending it isn't enough. But hopefully that's taken off the table so it can't be used to shut down the government at the end of the month.
Hopefully.
And maybe that video clears it so it can't for this either.
Hopefully. Well, everybody, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching, especially the ones that just pop in every now and again. Again, thank you. Hopefully this shed some light on a couple of stuff that happened this week. Love you guys. I'm David Dickerman.
And I'm Wild William.
And goodbye.